FlossTube friends. This is Sylvia with Running with Needles and Scissors. And it is Monday Fun Day. What date is it? The 5th of August. And right around 1 o'clock. I meant to do this in the morning, but days are busy. And so this is the first opportunity I've had to gather up all the stuff and come visit with you. Thank you so much for hanging with me for this episode, and for those of you who I meet all the time who tell me I've been with you since you were in Germany. Thank you so much for coming back time and time again to my somewhat discombobulated style and whatnot. I appreciated all the new subscribers. I so appreciate you subscribing. All right, so it's been a little bit, 3 weeks maybe, I think, if time hasn't gone faster than that. And we have been busy. We've gotten new floors laid in our bedrooms, which includes my office and stitching room. So you can imagine the absolute chaos that was reigning in our house. So the floors are in, but as I sit here, there's still a mattress over here, bed rails over there, an extra chair over here, so things you can't see, right outside. But I've not had the time to put the house back together. There are other things that are on a tighter schedule than my house. So it is what it is. That work is not running away. Let's see, the garden is thriving. We've had a good amount of rain, which really, really helped. Our poor bees were attacked, or at least the one hive, by a colony of other bees. They're called robber bees. So one day I was looking out and I saw a lot of activity on the one hive. We have two. That is always a very quiet hive. I'm always, looking and going, are they all alive? And I see them then, going in and out, but it's not a super active hive for whatever reason. It's always been that way. But there was just tons of stuff happening, and there was a ton of bees hanging on the outside, and I'm like, what is going on there? So I called my husband, and when he came home, he went to look at them, and then turned to his bee mentor, to find out what was happening here. And what was happening was that another hive that usually it's hives that experience want, that means they're not being watered or fed extra, or they're not doing super hot in terms of honey production. Well, they came over to this hive, which again is a quieter hive, so a weaker hive, and attacked them and basically robbed them of honey. And the fighting was intense, and I felt so bad for our bees. And there's things you can do, but you have to have them on hand, because the attacks usually last a couple days and then it's over because they've taken all your stuff. So these poor bees. Anyways, there were a lot of casualties, and I would go down and watch them. We did put a mesh over the entrance and then gave the bees smaller openings to go in and out of, and that sort of prevents the invading swarm from getting in large numbers, but they still get in. Anyways, it was sad to see. We're going to feed them extra, and hopefully they have time to recover some before winter, and we'll have to baby them through the winter and see. Hopefully they, the hive won't die off, because basically they took their winter stores, those stinky robber bees. They're just regular bees that come by and say, we're hungry. We're going to take what's yours, kind of reflective of the world a little bit sometimes. Okay. Garden is, like I said, is thriving. Lots of things are ripening, and I made the mistake of overplanting yellow squash. What happened was I thought I hadn't planted any, so I planted some more, and I have them in two different beds, and so I've got 5 yellow squash plants going, and that's way too much. And so sometimes I'm not super diligent about going out there and looking around for squash. They're really sneaky, I tell you. But so I end up with monsters like this. Yeah. This one was buried way low, and therefore it's still a little green on one side because I don't think it got the sun that it needs And here, this is what I pull off daily. Anybody got good squash recipes? I don't want to offend my neighbors with bringing a lot of squash over, but it's delicious. It really is. It's very, very good. I really should. Anyways, and the tomatoes are getting ripe. I posted a picture on Instagram. My neighbor down the street here gave me some tomato plants. He gave me a big, I think it was a half-gallon pot, and there were several tomato plants in there, and Rob came home with it, and I asked if I should separate those, and he said the neighbor said not to, so I planted the whole thing. Holy cow, those tomatoes are this big, and they are super delicious. They're not coming at a great speed. I'm thinking at some point or another, because there's monsters hanging on the vine. Things are just going to start ripening all at once. But so far, it's just been a steady production. I posted a photo of it on my Instagram, one of them, but that's what this plant throws off all the time. And I usually don't grow big tomatoes. I've always struggled with them cracking and not doing well, but these are just beautiful specimens and doing very, very well. And maybe it's because I'm diligently watering all of it. Daily, if not every other day, depending if it's been raining or not. So I did get, okay, this is a gardening section just for a minute. My apologies. I was gonna say, big trauma. I got a squash vine borer in my Hokkaido pumpkin plant. Hokkaido is a Japanese pumpkin. They only grow about this big, and you can't eat the seeds, but you can eat the whole thing with peel and everything, and I really like that. Last year it did really, really well. I had no issues. This year, in a different spot, I noticed some gunk on the plant. I'm like, what's that? And immediately knew it was the squash vine borer, and they take out your whole vine. And I fought it for a while manually by killing them. It's gross. It's a worm in there, and it's a larva. And anyways, so I killed as much as I could, and then finally just gave up. And today I ripped it out because it was done. It was just hanging. They were like, it just wilts because the borer has eaten away on the inside of the stem. Anyways, but other than that, other than bee attacks and squash vine borers and stuff like that, garden's doing well. Yeah, and I have been super, super busy. The Needlework Marketplace show is coming at the end of August. I have everything framed, and we're working on the patterns, and things are finished. So I will do my release video shortly. I've been posting some sneak peeks on Instagram. I'm really liking what I'm coming with this time. I always like what I present. I really have to tell you, I don't do anything that I don't like. It's way too hard to work on something you're not really loving. Or design something you're not really loving, I think anyway. So what you get from me is really something that I really love. And so once again, I have a pretty big girl, very different from the big girl I released at market. And then I have one small and one smallish reproduction, so 3 reproductions, although the big girl is more of an adaptation. It's faithfully reproduced, but I left off some parts. It was a darning portions that I felt probably wouldn't, well, I don't know how to do it, because it's not just like weaving in and out of the ground fabric. The ground fabric is gone behind it, so the whole thing was reconstructed, and it's very, very interesting, very beautiful, but I was like, that's beyond me, and probably not too many people would have interest in that, so I took that portion out, but the rest of the sampler is completely faithfully reproduced. We also survived the great scissor onslaught. So I carry Premax scissors. I really, really love them. I think they're the most affordable scissor with the highest quality there is out there, seriously. So just a quality scissor. It comes from Italy. And Tanya Brockmeyer asked if anybody knew something, she was looking for tartan scissors. She was in Scotland at the time and, you know, was in a tartan mood. And, you know, she's a friend of mine. So I texted her and said, you know, I'll put it on Facebook, and I probably talked about this last time. And so, you know, before she could even reply, my tartan scissors were selling, you know, other people had read. Anyways, immediately sold out. I mean, I managed to secure the scissors for Tanya. And then I just kind of asked, is there an interest? Because I really wasn't planning on ordering from Premax again. I still had some stock of different scissors, and I still do. And so tons of people said yes. So I did one order and then put the brakes on, because I was like, you know, there's a lot of, I let people pre-order, then I had to put on the brakes because I needed to check Premax's inventory. And so we sold them out of the reds, and we made a big dent in the blues and the greens. And I needed to make sure that if I take more orders that I could cover them. And they gave me the green light. So then what I did was, on the first batch, I went and ordered those, and then I let it run through the end of the month of June, and then compiled those and ordered those. And we just got those last week, and they went out the door. So I think I'm done with the scissors. And just but for those of you that didn't participate in the tartan scissor insanity, these are the ones we're talking about. So there's a green, a blue, and a red. Really fun, not expensive, $22, super sharp. Oh, there we go. Very nice. Good mechanism. Anyways, I've always order extra, but I am going to go present a sampler I reproduced for the Queen City Sampler Guild down in Cincinnati this weekend on Saturday. Beautiful sampler. Can't wait to show you. I wish I could show you right now, but I can't. But I will next time. Or yeah, next time. And so I'm going to take my stock of scissors with me and give them first crack at it. And then I'll list whatever I've left over on my website. There are other scissors listed. Really, really nice. I know there's the black one, the black, I think I only have two left. What's that? Ring lock that Jean from the attic showed, and I also have it. So anyways, if you feel like it, come look at my scissors. I think they're really great. All right, enough of that. So the other thing I wanted to announce was, I am so thrilled that I was asked to teach in the first Sampler University, I think that's what they're calling it, in the National EGA Seminar next year in Dallas in November. And when Lee called me, I was like, did you dial the right number? What are you talking about? But I knew immediately, immediately knew what sampler I would offer. And so, and how I was going to structure it. So I sent a photo to Lee, and I told her my idea, and she has been so great to deal with. I don't want to say her last name because I don't have permission for that. But anyways, so it's going to be Lucy Beam and myself. It's an add-on at the end of EGA's national seminar for Sampler University. It's the first time they're offering a strictly sampler focused weekend. It's on the weekend. I don't have the dates in my head, but they will be down in the show notes. Now, you can start registering for that in September, and you don't have to be a member of the EGA. That is fantastic. And I saw Lucy Beam's project, Becky Nolan, and it was so cute. It's so nice. Seriously, I mean, I say cute, but it is so nice. I was so excited. I'm like, I'm going to be there, and I'm going to take that. So let me show you the antique that I reproduced for this. I don't have the model because it went down to Atlanta. It is currently going to be displayed so people can see it at the EGA National Seminar taking place in Atlanta here next weekend. and then I'll get it back and I'll show it to you then. But basically my class will be the sampler, and then people, will talk about and look at and maybe practice a few of the specialty. There really isn't much on specialty stitches. It's easy. I say it's easy. There might be people that are a little bit intimidated, but we'll handle all that. And then the majority of class, we are going to be working on planning and getting your charts ready for your own smalls that you want to do. So you get to decide what kind of smalls you want to do off this sampler, and we'll work on getting them ready to go so that your charts are ready. You have that planned out and counted, and possibly basting your fabric so you know where you're putting what, and talking about some of the various smalls that you might be interested in making. So I'm going to have smalls that I've made when they're not ready yet. This was like a squeeze it into my very full schedule type thing. Anyways, so I will have smalls as examples only. You can copy mine, that's a-okay, but you will work on getting your charts ready. It's going to be a cut and paste. There's no other way to do this. Not for that big of a crowd. But anyways, that being said, I think it's going to be a fun class. The sampler is so gorgeous. When I first saw it at auction, I was like, I don't care how much that thing costs. I want it. So anyways, I'm going to show her to you. This is Isabella Kettlewell, and Isabella is spelled I-E Isabella. So, and it was sewn to this backing, and I had to loosen some of the stitches so I could look in the back. But here she is. Those of you who are familiar with Frances Eden, you will see some similarities. Specifically, let's see if we can do this better. Well, I won't point. The grassy knoll, the critters in the corners, and I'm sure there's other pieces that are reminiscent of Frances Eden. I just love it. And the reproduction just is glorious, I have to say. My friend and model stitcher Diane stitched it for me. It's done in Vicki Clayton silks. What else? And I think there are 21 colors of silk. And again, it's such a beautiful sampler. And I am really, really excited. Now you can see the model in the registration area. So I will have all that linked below in the show notes if you're interested. Just go by and look at it anyways, whether you want to sign up or not. And that will be a teaching piece going forward also. So not just for EGA, but if guilds are interested after I teach it to the EGA, I'm happy to do so for guilds. Anyways, I am just thrilled and humbled and overwhelmed that I was asked. And really, I will have to say that, I think God is just opening some doors for me. There should be no reason that I was asked to do this, being 1.5 years into my design business. I can't believe it's just 1.5 years. But, I am just so grateful for him that every once in a while I get a nod that, I don't want to say that he's pleased with what I'm doing, but that it's okay that I get to do this. So anyways, it's not me. That's all I want to say. He gives me the talent. He gives me the opportunities, and I just want to do the best job that is reflective of my father. So anyways, okay. That is Isabella Kettlewell. I'm gonna put her over here. Now, what else? Well, speaking of teaching and whatnot and guilds, I've talked about her a couple times, have done a reproduction for the Tudor Sampler Guild, and it's kicked off August 1st. We started, and I of course have to stay ahead. Now her name is Mary Foch. We found some nice information on her, and that is something that the stitches are getting. I get to work on Mary until August 15th, and then I have to put her aside and go on to other things. But this is where I am at. So I've gotten, you know, I've shown her. I've gotten all the border and leaves in. Over here, you can see they're very, very light. And I'm working on part 3, which is a little slower going than I like, but there it is. So she's lovely. She really, really is. And she's stitched on, my sampler is stitched on 46 count oat by Fibers on a Whim. And I will be releasing her at market. So she should be done. The stitch along should be concluded, and I will just turn right around and release her at market. I am planning some smalls for this sampler as a separate thing. So stay tuned. I hope my needles are going to go fast enough that I can get it all done. So that's Mary Foch. Here is the entire color palette. Very fall, very beautiful. Oopsie, loose thread. And here's my much used waxer that I absolutely adore. Use it all the time. I've changed my method a little bit. So what I was doing before, I was pulling a thread and then I'd run it over the wax. Now I thread my needle and I just put that needle right on the wax and just pull that whole thread, you know, double pieces and all, well, the folded piece, through the wax. And then it's so much easier, so much quicker just to have it on the needle. I don't know, you know, sometimes it takes me a while. Anyways, these I absolutely love. Janjanin. Oh, I should know her name. Anyways, you can find her on a couple of the stash selling sites, specifically Samplers. You know, the camera's on and nothing works in the brain. Samplers. There is a sampler selling group. I'll put her below. Anyways, so you can find her there. She's got all kinds of beautiful waxers, and I really love this with the floss ring all together. So that is Mary Foch. Let's see, and I did manage, this is my very fun cowgirl car wash bag that I made from a panel. I did manage to finish my assignment on American Welcome from Plum Street Sampler. Hold on. I don't know why I need to show the picture because everybody knows it. Hold on. Let me see. There it is. American Welcome. And I've got a 24-month assignment. And here she is. Well, I'm a little further. I went a little higher and a little wider just because. But look how cute. Oh, my Lord. Okay, so I think the fabric I'm using, I know it's a Bestitch Me. I don't know if it's 40 or 46 count. You would think I'd know better by now, not to know what I'm using. But so, and I think it's salted, roasted, not salted. I thought it was, there is a wet sand or a beachy one. I don't think I used that one. I think I used the roasted one. Anyway, so that's my progress. You know, and when I sat down to do this, I'm like, oh, I can, that's little. I'll knock that out in, you know, this portion. It was like something like that. That's what I needed to do. You know, 2 days. No. It took a little longer. All right. That's my one indulgence. What else? Let's see. I bought some stash. Why? But, you know, I went to Stitch Day from Keepsakes. She brings models. Oh, I did buy a model. I don't know if I showed you guys. So cute. Well, the whole house is in disarray. when I find the sweet little model that I bought at Stitch Day from Keepsakes, I will show it. And she had, of course, she does a few trunk shows, really lovely. And also she had some half-priced charts. You don't have to ask me to look through half-price charts twice. I'm there. Anyways, I'll just show you what I got there. Let's see. I know I got more than that. Okay, let's go. All right. This one, I've been dying to stitch this. Don't know when I will, but I have the floss pack and everything for it, the silks. So this is Wisdom from Teresa. It came out a couple years ago. I love it. I had never seen this one, and I am, you know, Paulette Plum Street Sampler's #1 fan. I don't know how that happened, but this is Love Thy Neighbor as Thyself. When did this come out? Holdy. Oh, 2013. I'm 11 years behind. Okay, here we go. Well, I just moved, no, well, I don't know why I missed it, but anyways, I just think this is darling. Love Thy Neighbor. And now this one, Little House Needleworks, is called My Lady at Christmas. Now, I don't know if my friend Rebecca used this chart or some other chart where she's on, but she stitched her on lower count fabric to make a stand-up, and she stitched her patriotically. Now, you can easily change the colors to go red, white, and blue. And it looked so, I mean, it looked so good that I was like, oh, yes, I need a patriotic lady stand-up in my next life. So, yes, there it is. All right. Oh, there's more. Darn. Remember, Kitten Stitcher had some really great sales going, because if those of you who know that she's moving to Pennsylvania, I think it is. And those of you who don't know, she's moved to Pennsylvania. Anyway, so she had to lighten her load, and I was happy to help her out. And I grabbed Sarah Barnes by the Scarlet House. Really lovely. Oh, this one was from Keepsakes still. This is Rabbit House, Lucy Beam. I love these houses by Lucy Beam. I really do. They're so cute. She has all kinds. I think we need to stitch them all. She's got a bee house. She's got Christmas house. I don't know, all kinds. Well, and here I got, who is this by? I don't know. Oh, this I got at Craft Gallery. See, the problem's been, I've been in too many stores. I went to see friends up at Craft Gallery a couple weeks ago. The retreat was happening, and so we got together to supposedly stitch, but all we did was talk, shop, and eat. So I think I said, let me sit down, I'm gonna put 10 stitches in to make it count. So that's what I did. But anyways, I got the animal cracker, the Christmas sausage, Frankie. I need to get the other one. They didn't have it. Otherwise, I would have bought it, by Stacy Nash. You know, and honestly, I was like, ho-hum when I first saw them. Now, remember, I do have a dachshund, but I was like, well, I don't think I need it. But then my friend Dawn was stitching on them at a Stitch Away. And before I got hit by the plague and had to go home, I got to see them, and they are so stinking cute that I was like, oh yes, 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 definitely 100 times yes. So here's the first one. I'm still hunting the second one. I picked up 12 Days of Christmas by Annie Bees because look at these. So cute. Do we have pictures of more? Because, oh yeah, no, I can't. Well, no, the patterns are right there. Let's see if we have, no, just #1. Does she have a photo? Well, here's another 12, 11. There you go. Super cute. Can't take that long to finish. I don't have time for them right now, but you know, you never know. Things could change and maybe I'll have time. I picked up, I think this was on sale at Kitten Stitcher. This is the 2022 Stitch Along. by Modern Folk, and I really do, I don't know, it appeals to me. I like it. I'm not even trying to pronounce, well, here I will try to pronounce and super embarrass myself. Engeltje Tjakkes. Well, I have a Dutch friend, I could ask him. The pronunciation of Dutch is ridiculous. It really is. Let's see, the other thing that came in that I was goobly goo about is the box from the Keeper Club box from Carrie. I don't really do boxes, although I do 3 right now. Carrie does such a good box. I have no issues with subscribing to it. I do the So Sampler box, which is always good, from Fat Quarter Shop. I do this one, which is quarterly, always fantastic. And I do the Schoolgirl Sampler from Australia. Yeah. All right. Shall we peek? This one's good. This one's awesome. All right. Always packed beautifully. I sort of try to keep it together. I already looked at everything. But on top is the description of what's in it and who participated in it, which I really, really like from her. And outside of her keeper, which I will show you, which is so good, there was a sampler pattern in here. Her daughter Lily started some lotion bar and other etc. natural things shop on Etsy called Lily's Corner. She's a student and is doing a little side hustle to help out with the bills, and I think that's great. We've got my favorite silk in here, Vicki Clayton. We've got some Lori Holt needles. We've got the sticker, and we got some saltwater taffy. Now the saltwater taffy has gone off with my husband, so I am not a saltwater taffy person at all. I tried it. It was tasty. It's just not my thing. I think it's an acquired taste, maybe American. I don't know. I'm more of a marzipan, which some people don't like, so there we go. Anyways, but it was very beautiful, but I've already given it away. Let me undo my legs here. All right. Well, let's look at Carrie's reproduction first. Hold on. Let me open it so we can do a better job. There we go. It is so cool. It is called the Crown Family Sampler, and she did such a fantastic job. Now, it wasn't originally red. Look how sweet that is. It was, let's see if I can, there we go. It was like this. I haven't read the history, but I will. But that just goes to show that you can take any or a lot of samplers and turn them into red samplers, or the opposite way, take a sampler that is monochromatic and make it a multicolor sampler. Anyway, she did a really, really lovely job on, you know, a printed booklet, really nice. Then there was this sweet bag, and here are the needles. Now, I have not tried Lori Holt's needles. I'm looking at the eyes. One of the issues with needles are the eyes. Sometimes they shred your. I will come back and give you a review. I'll try them right away now that you've seen them. Here is the fabulous silk from. It looks like a little bit variegated. Yes, it is. And this is called Tiger Lily Red, but we don't know what components it's made of. This is Vicki Clayton's and Tiger Lily Red. And it's not the small size, it's the big size. I think there's 3 or 5 of them, of skeins on here. So you could do 2 or 3 red samplers if you wanted to. Here is Lily's Corner, and this is, oh, this is a waxer. All right, I thought I was getting a lotion bar, but I'm getting a waxer, which I love. Okay, so here's a little flower waxer. Perfect size to take along. And here's some stickers. Dancing Dolphin Crafts. Cross stitch is not my hobby. It's my calling. Amen to that. It is. There you go. Fun sticker. Now the question is, where are we going to put this? And are you ready for the keeper? Because it's so gorgeous. It's a Liberty of London fabric called, hold on. Well, here you go. Is that not fantastic? All right, inside. So beautiful. Oh, let's see. This was made from Liberty of London fabric, Arthur's Garden. There you go, I had it right. All right. Can't go wrong. Now I can use it. That is the Keeper Club box. So worth signing up for if you can get a spot. All right, anything else over here? Oh, yes. I called Needlepoint Silk the other day because I'm working on a reproduction for market that is a stunner. And so it's going to have one Gloriana and the rest are needlepoint silk. And so I was talking to Betty on the phone, and Betty is a great sales lady because I ended up with the entire line. So there we go. This is what the entire line of needlepoint silk looks like. So happy. It'll make it so much easier for me to use this silk. I really, really love it. And, you know, having all the colors on hand just makes it easier. But they do have now an actual color card. I don't know how new or old it is, but it's the first product under their new product, so I figure it's fairly new. And so if you like needlepoint silk and like to work or convert to needlepoint silk, you can get yourself a color chart. It's not cheap. With the actual, I think, stranded silk, just like Avera Soie has, or DMC. I really recommend anytime you are working on doing conversions that you actually get the card that with the actual colors, because things do look different, and it's not a wasted investment. I use mine all the time. All right. I think that clears the decks on what I wanted to talk about today. Again, I'm trying to keep my floss tubes fairly short so that they can actually upload within, you know, a 48-hour period. I don't know what's with the internet sometimes here. Sometimes they go fast, and sometimes it's like, it errors out, and it takes me 2 days to upload. Sometimes I just give up and go to the library and do it there. The next video will be my release video. Like I said, everything's ready, but I need to write the newsletter, and once I do the newsletter, I can do the release video, and then I'll be back with more. The big move of bags is going to eventually start probably after I get through all this hullabaloo what's going on right now, and I will share that with you. We will look at just about everything unless I forget something. So I'm going to be like, here's all the stuff of mine. Anyways, okay, that wraps it up for today. And I hope everybody's having a good summer. It's been off and on hot here. My hair does its crazy frizzy thing. I'm going to cut it off. I just have a goal in mind that I need to reach before I do. So the other day I just had it down, and my husband and I were standing in the bathroom, and I just said, you know, this is not flattering. He's like, no, it's not. So it's coming off. It's okay when I pin it up, just not loose. And it's grown a whole bunch. I mean, it's like down to here. But anyways, I think maybe September, maybe October will be the month that I cut it off. But it's got a lot of frizz and short hair in it because during COVID it fell out. Last year I had COVID, and so one of the things that can happen is you can lose a ton of your hair, which I did. Nobody noticed because I have so much hair. I noticed. I knew it got relatively, for me, relatively thin, but it's all growing back, and so it just makes for a super frizzy look. It's not my favorite. Okay, well, that was a little sidestep. All right, my friends, let's wrap it up. I will see you soon for a release video. Come back and look at the beauties and the fun things that I have for the Needlework Marketplace, the online show happening at the end of the month. Until that time, I'd like you to stay happy, healthy, and terrific. Love you guys. Bye.